What's going on, guys? My name is Mike with Apple Informed. Welcome back to another video, and today Apple just released iOS 12.1 Developer Beta 2. So this is a pretty significant update in the fact that it actually brings a lot more additions to iOS 12 than the original release of iOS 12.1 Beta 1. So Beta 2 here is a pretty significant update today. I think it came in at about 350 megabytes here on my iPhone XS Max. So in this video, let's go ahead and take a look at possibly one of the biggest changes. I do have a few other little changes to talk about in this video, but the biggest change, as you may have heard, are the new emojis. So I'm not just going to go through every single new emoji. Instead, I went through the keyboard and I picked some of my personal favorite emojis. So I'll go through them right now. This one with the hearts, with stars for eyes, it's kind of celebration, sad face. This one is kind of fitting, so I live in Canada and the winters can get all the way down to like minus 40 in a really cold January day. So this freezing person emoji is very fitting for where I live. Curly hair person. We have a new crab here, a kangaroo, a parrot, a bagel. For some reason, Apple thought it was important to add a bagel. We have a cupcake and a salt shaker. And shout out to MKBHD, Marquez Brownlee on YouTube. He's happy that they finally added a ultimate frisbee, or just a frisbee emoji, because he plays ultimate frisbee a lot. So frisbee has been added along with a few other sports-related items for the new emoji keyboard. So Apple keeps working with the Unicode company, whoever makes these emojis, to get more accessibility emojis also. So there are a few new like wheelchair emojis and stuff, but I just went ahead and picked my favorite emojis. So it is nice that they keep adding these, and people do love sending these in iMessages. So kind of nice that they put all this work and all this detail into these tiny icons that you'll never be looking at this close. I mean, just look at the gradient on this parrot's wing here. No one's ever going to see that, but Apple puts in the time and effort just to make it look that much better. So props to Apple. They did a really good job on all these emojis. Number 2 is a redesigned emoji, which is the new iPhone emoji. So if I go here into my emoji keyboard and I go into objects, if I can find it here, you can see here this iPhone has been redesigned to an iPhone X. So it's kind of hard to see there, but before it was an iPhone with a forehead and a chin with a home button, but now these two iPhone emojis, the one with just an iPhone and the one with an iPhone with an arrow, is now an iPhone X. So this is, of course, iPhone specific. If you send this to a friend who has a Samsung phone, they're going to see it as whatever the Samsung version of the phone emoji is. But here on Apple devices, of course, the phone or the iPhone emoji is going to be represented by their latest, greatest iPhone, the iPhone X. So that's kind of funny. So you also may be wondering where all your favorite emojis are. That's because they actually reorganize the keyboard a lot. So if you were using a certain emoji, like maybe the taco emoji, or let's say the trophy emoji, some of these have been reorganized to make a little bit more sense. Some of the food items have been put in specific categories that are kind of similar with that genre of item. So the emojis are a bit reorganized. So if you can't find an emoji, it doesn't mean Apple removed it. It just means that they reorganized the keyboard a bit. So that's number 3. They did reorganize the emoji keyboard just a little bit to make things make a little bit more sense. So number 4 is Apple finally fixed the charge gate issue. So you may have heard Unbox Therapy made a video, it went semi-viral, about the charge gate issue where when you would plug in your phone and your phone was locked and the screen wasn't on, it wouldn't charge. Now that has been fixed. I never actually had that issue on my phone, so my phone always charged even when I was on iOS 12, not the 12.1 Beta 2. So I never had that issue. You can tell me in the comments below if you guys had the charge gate issue, but apparently it was a software issue, not a hardware issue. That's a good thing, because Apple would have had to recall a lot of phones if it was hardware. So ChargeGate is now fixed. If your device was affected by that, as soon as you plug your phone into power, it will start charging immediately. You will not have to wake the screen. So there are a few more sounds here on the lock screen for the toggles. So this is courtesy of Everything Apple Pro. I watched his video, and this is pretty cool. So whenever you toggle the flashlight or the camera, it makes kind of a noise. So I'll shut up and you can listen to these. So you can hear those. It sounds really cool. It just kind of adds that extra level of personality to the phone, because the human interface designers at Apple really want this phone to interact with you in a way that feels human, because they work for the human interaction team. So those little sounds with the buttons and 3D touch on the phone, along with the haptic engine on the iPhone, really make it feel like a great experience. So those little tweaks and little sounds kind of make the UI just feel a little bit nicer. So one small change I think was here in iOS 12.1 beta 1, I didn't mention it, is this option when you're in portrait mode to now change the f-stop live. So I can put a water bottle back here, and you can see here I can change the f-stop in real time. It actually says move farther away, so I can't use that as a prop because my camera lens is so zoomed in. But when you are taking a portrait mode photo of something, you can hit the little f-stop icon up here in the top right and change your depth of field live there. You can hear that sound effect. So kind of a cool little sound effect there. When you reach the end, it kind of makes a prominent click noise. So all these little sound effects and tweaks that Apple's making to the UI. So I do appreciate that Apple is really putting in the time and effort to make the UI of the iPhone just feel kind of complete. So guys, that is iOS 12.1 beta 2, a pretty significant update in my opinion. This is what Apple had planned as iOS 12.1 beta 1, but apparently they had some issues on the side and they had to push back all the changes to beta 2, which is fine. We now have them, and I really love the performance of my iPhone on beta 2. I installed it today. I never plugged in my phone, and my battery life is still at 62%, and I unplugged my phone at about 7:30 in the morning. So battery life is fantastic, especially on my iPhone XS Max. If you guys have anything that you found in beta 2 that I missed in this video, you can tell me in the comments down below. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael with Apple Informed. Drop a huge like on this video. I'll see you in the next one.